Here we have Ethereum, symbol ETH versus the dollar. This one being requested by Mr. Josh, a good friend, and he is looking at the higher term time frame structure on this one. So, I want to first identify, similar to Bitcoin, that we are more than likely in a major bouncy area than not. Now, major bounce area is not the same thing as reversal. It's not the same thing as, bulls to the fucking moon yet again. However, it can account for a nice, nice bouncy bounce to the upside alongside Bitcoin in this case. Anyways, looking at the bi-weekly right here, we nearly hit our target to the downside. I was saying somewhere between about 2,100 and as actually far down as 1,900. In this case, we already got down to about 2,160. So with that in mind, I do still think that there could maybe be one more swipe of the lows, similar to Bitcoin in this case. Full hour is technically still trending to the downside, but we are hitting extremes here. So I don't think it has too much further down to go. And if it does break down from its current levels, I don't think that is going to really make significantly new lows. I think worst case scenario right now before a major bounce is about 1,900 or so, and probably I'd be a little bit surprised if it even gets there. We also will naturally have many drives of bullish divergence kind of building up on this one as well. But for right now, it is a little bit more on the short-term bear side, obviously, with that rejection right here at the 55 at 2,700. So we can put in a nice little trading range right here, which let me actually redo for this time frame because that chart is not relevant for the full hour in this case. But basically 2,700 basically to the upside as long as you're below there. I do look for this one to trade a little bit sideways and down around its current lows, whether that be about 2,230, perhaps even towards slightly new lows at about 2,100 is completely fine. I don't have a strong opinion on that. We do see full hour Jewel is actually showing some downside, and I believe if we go over here, our other short-term time frame momentum oscillators are likely nosediving here as well. Indeed, you can see on the full hour after hitting extremes here on HVP and BBWP by extension. So what does that likely align with? Perhaps another exploration of the lows, maybe a slightly new low, but ultimately, just like Bitcoin, I don't really think that you have the momentum to break down to significantly new lows. Daily right here is turning up and will be showing upside momentum with any sort of a closure above 2288 at the end of today at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The buy daily is also actually pretty hard down here as well, below 2575, but I mean, pretty fucking low there. I mean, For reference, the only time that we've seen lower than this, and it's actually rather comparable to where we're at right now, was March 2020, actually, which I'm sure that you already know exactly where I'm going with that. And then the only time that we've seen it lower than that was December 2018 on the macro cycle lows, which for Ethereum, I think was like $80 or something, which is fucking insane, man. Anyways, 5-day, what are we seeing right here? Same thing as Bitcoin, will be turning up with any sort of a closure above 2462. Of course, trading below there right now, but again, I just don't think that we have significantly lower to go before initiating a major bounce. Weekly, same thing as well, correcting heavily, actually still showing 38.27, which is good for my own short exposure there, but I think I'm going to be closing that relatively soon. And then Josh was also asking about the 3-day here, of which we can pull this one up. And the 3-day is getting quite low there as well, and actually will be turning up above 2550. So a lot of these things kind of, looking like they're exhausting their momentum to the downside, but that does not mean that you can't see one more swipe of the lows. In fact, I think that that's rather likely. I would not even call a short-term time frame. I'd say this would be more of a medium-term time frame, actually. Breakout as long as you're below 2,700. A full hour closure above 2,700, and yes, I would be looking for the next bounce corrective move back up somewhere into the shallow 3,000s, whether that be about 3,100 or 3,200. I don't really have a strong opinion on, but somewhere around there would look good, and then we come back to it and reanalyze it after that. Other than that, I'm just going back here to the higher term timeframes. I think that we've seen the majority of this downside move for right now. Next month is likely setting up for a bounce. And the question is, at what price point would you say that the long-term correction is over for Ethereum? So understand that we're making an assumption here, and understand that we are talking about hopium here. This is not in the cards as of right now. In fact, this is like very far away. And God damn it, okay, turn off stupid Telegram. Sorry about that. But basically, I'd be doing the same thing that I did on Bitcoin in this case, and that would be a bearish retracement from the highs to the lows of our current range, and that would be above about 3,300. So if we do get another rally, that being, maybe around February, middle February to March region, I'd be looking at the 2,900 to 3,300 region right here as a potential bull trappy region until proven otherwise, meaning just like Bitcoin below $48,000, we could do something like this, pop back down, maybe setting a higher low at around 25 or 2600. That would look good. If you see something like that, that would be amazing for the BULAs. If you see something like this, however, where it bounces initially and then plops back down below about 25 or 2600, that's your confirmation of mega bear, and you're probably looking at big moves down at least to your summer lows, which would be about 1700-ish or so, and maybe even lower over time, as the higher term timeframes like the monthly are quite abysmal here. But again, you're in, damn it, I did it again. You're in a bouncy region coming off the monthly 21. If you're playing the bearish divergence on the monthly right there, that is a take profit area. So more likely to bounce around this region than not, similar to Bitcoin. And I imagine that monthly momentum, stochastic momentum is going to turn down with any sort of a closure below 2400. So this one actually could remain to the upside, or sorry, whoa, I need my vision checked, not 2400, 3600. So that's rather far away right now. Apologies on that. So again, next month likely to bounce. Technically speaking, it's a more bearish long-term setup than not, but you just have to kind of differentiate your time frames there. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Ethereum, Mr. Sir.